Page 244. After a long day in court, Alex found himself jumping right back into work, unofficially anyway. He'd exchanged a few texts with Detectives Olyanka through the afternoon, and now found himself in the back seat of Olyanka's blue Kia, headed south and east from the courthouse. Detective Sutter sat next to Olyanka in the front. Word was the police lab had found a match for William Quall's fingerprints on Ollie's school ID card. That was more than enough to justify another visit to the Qualls' house. "Thanks for waiting to the end of the day," Alex told the detectives. "I appreciate you bringing me in on this." "It's just a ride-along," Olyanka said, not for the first time. "You're still on non-contact status, Alex, and I need you to stay by the car when we get there." "Of course," Alex said. He wasn't sure he trusted himself with what he'd do anyway. What kind of grown man tried to frame a kid Ollie's age? Probably the same kind who would use his own son as a pawn and send him through a dog door to break into a house. That was the theory anyway, though it didn't explain where Gabe Qualls had been all this time. Everything was up in the air at this point, but Alex could feel it in his gut. They were getting closer to some answers here. "How'd the trial go today?" Sutter asked while they traveled. "No comment," Alex said. "Honestly, I'm exhausted, but hearing from you was the first piece of good news I've had, so I'll take it." For the rest of the drive, they talked about the weather and the upcoming Super Bowl instead of the Olyanka was parking in front of a sad-looking row house on 17th Street. Alex got out of the car but kept himself on the sidewalk as the other two went to knock on the front door. He wanted William Qualls to see him when he answered. It took several knocks before anything happened. Sutter seemed to hear some kind of disturbance inside. "Mr. Qualls?" she called through. "It's Detective Sutter from the MPD. Can you please open the door?" Then, sure enough, William Qualls was there, looking out of breath. Alex couldn't hear the conversation, but Qualls' eyebrows knitted together in whatever they were telling him. Yeah, that's right, Alex thought. No more messing with kids' lives. It's time to answer to the grown-ups. And after a few moments on the stoop, the detectives moved inside the door, closed behind them. Alex stuck to his spot, watching for maybe 3 or 4 minutes before anything else happened. And we caught some movement through the cracked first-floor window. Alex stood up a little straighter, squinting in the direction, and then without warning, the window itself shattered as a large ashtray came through the glass and broke into a million pieces of its own on the pavement outside. What the? Alex was already moving up the front walk when the door flew open. Inside, he could see Sutter on one knee. Blood was dripping through her fingers where she had had her hand up to her forehead. Behind her, Olyanka seemed to be helping Mrs. Qualls off the ground. A shattered picture frame was next to her where she'd gone down. There's no time for questions, much less explanations. Even as Alex approached the house, Qualls burst out of the door. He cleared the front steps in one leap, lowered his shoulder, and plowed right through Alex like J.J. Watt on a good day. Alex flew back and hit the pavement hard, and by the time he'd scrambled onto his feet, Qualls was through the gate and sprinting up 17th Street at a good clip. "Stop him!" Olyanka shouted from inside. Alex took off running.